If your neck or back feels stiff after a long day at work, the problem may not be your spine at all. It could be two muscles that have quietly stopped doing the jobs they were designed to do. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you 3 simple exercises and 1 daily habit that can help undo the effects of sitting for hours at a time. You won't need a gym, expensive equipment, or a lot of time. Whether you're 25 or 55, you can start today. But first, let me tell you about someone I'll call Sarah. A few months ago, Sarah walked into my office looking completely exhausted. She was 34, worked as a software developer, and spent most of her day sitting in front of multiple screens, often 8, sometimes 10 hours at a time. She looked at me and said something I still remember. "I'm only 34. Why do I feel 64 by the end of every workday?" By late afternoon, her neck felt tight, her shoulders burned, her lower back ached constantly, and she was getting tension headaches almost every week. She hadn't been in an accident. She hadn't injured herself lifting anything heavy. The only thing she'd done consistently was sit. Like so many people, Sarah had started believing pain was just part of getting older. It isn't. And that's one of the biggest myths about back pain. Most people assume their spine is the problem, a bad back, weak discs, aging catching up with them. But many cases of everyday neck and back pain don't begin with the spine at all. They begin with the muscles that support it. And that's actually good news because muscles can change. They adapt to whatever you ask them to do, or don't do. If you spend most of your day sitting, your body becomes incredibly efficient at sitting. That's exactly where the problem begins. Here's what's actually happening. When you sit for long periods, 2 things happen at once. First, your hip flexors the muscles running from the front of your hips to your upper thighs. Stay locked in a shortened position for hours, so they gradually tighten. Second, your glutes, the largest and most powerful muscles in your body, become less active. Physical therapists sometimes call this gluteal amnesia, because your brain gradually gets less efficient at recruiting those muscles after hours of doing almost nothing. It's like a light switch that's gone sticky over time. The power is still there, it just doesn't respond the way it should. Now picture your pelvis as the foundation of a building. Tight hip flexors pull the front of it downward. Weak glutes can't support it from behind. So your pelvis tilts forward, which exaggerates the curve in your lower back, puts more stress on those joints, and forces your back muscles to work overtime just to keep you upright. That's why so many people stand up after a day of sitting and immediately place a hand on their lower back. It's not an injury, it's muscles that have been working inefficiently for hours. And it doesn't stop at your lower back. As your pelvis shifts, your shoulders round forward, your chest tightens, your upper back weakens, and your head drifts further in front of your shoulders. Even a couple of inches of forward head position dramatically increases the load on your neck muscles, which is exactly why your neck feels exhausted by the end of the day. Here's the encouraging part. Your body isn't broken, it's adapting. And just as it adapted to sitting, it can adapt to moving better. That's exactly what we're going to do now. Exercise 1, the kneeling hip flexor stretch.
Since tight hip flexors are one of the biggest contributors here, we start there. Kneel on one knee, almost like you're about to propose, with your other foot flat on the floor in front of you. Keep your chest tall, shoulders relaxed, core gently braced. Slowly shift your hips forward, not by forcing it, just until you feel a comfortable stretch across the front of the hip on your kneeling side. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing slowly, then switch sides. Repeat 2 to 3 times per leg. The biggest mistake people make is arching their lower back to try to deepen the stretch. That does the opposite of what you want. It takes pressure off the hip and dumps it into your spine instead. Move your whole pelvis forward, not your waist backward. Flexibility isn't forced. It's earned through consistency.
Exercise 2, the glute bridge. Now that we've started releasing what's too tight, it's time to wake up what's gone quiet. Lie on your back, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Press through your heels and lift your hips toward the ceiling, imagining you're squeezing a coin between your glutes. Rise until your shoulders, hips, and knees form a straight line. Pause 2 to 3 seconds at the top, then lower slowly with control. Aim for 2 sets of 12 to 15 reps. If you feel your lower back working harder than your glutes, slow down and lower the height slightly until the squeeze comes from the right place. Once this feels easy, try extending one leg while holding the top position. This challenges each side independently and builds real stability. Exercise 3. The Wall Angel. The final piece is your upper body. Hours of typing and scrolling round your shoulders forward and weaken the muscles between your shoulder blades, which is exactly why your neck ends up doing work it wasn't built for. Stand with your back against a wall, feet a few inches in front of you, head and upper back touching the wall. Raise your arms out like a goalpost, elbows bent at 90 degrees, backs of your hands near the wall, and slowly slide your arms up and down like a standing snow angel. Complete 10 to 12 slow repetitions. The most common mistake is letting your ribs flare out or your lower back arch away from the wall. That's your body cheating. Keep your core braced and ribs down so your shoulders actually do the work. If you can't slide very high at first, that's completely normal. Even a few inches of controlled motion starts retraining those muscles. Now, back to Sarah. I gave her these exact 3 exercises, nothing fancy, and asked her to spend 5 minutes on them twice a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon. I didn't ask for intensity. I asked for consistency. 3 weeks later, her weekly tension headaches were gone. A couple of months after that, she came back and told me, I made it through an entire workday, and I didn't think about my back once. That's the real goal here. Not perfect posture, not being pain-free overnight, but reaching the point where your body stops demanding your attention every few minutes. Now, the daily habit I promised at the start. Set a timer for every 45 minutes, and when it goes off, stand up. That's it. Walk to the kitchen, refill your water, stretch your arms, take a few deep breaths. You don't need a full workout. Even a minute or 2 of movement resets the pressure building in your spine and wakes those glutes back up before they fall asleep again. Combine this with the 3 exercises, and you're addressing the problem from every angle, front and back, upper body, and lower. Your body is always adapting. Years of sitting taught it to sit. Consistent movement teaches it something else. That means today's habits shape tomorrow's body. So here's my challenge. Don't just watch this. Try these exercises for the next 2 weeks. 5 honest minutes, twice a day. Set your 45-minute reminder. Pay attention to how your body feels. Often the change is so gradual you won't notice it until one day your neck isn't bothering you, your shoulders feel lighter, and your back doesn't ache when you stand up. If this helped you, screenshot it, or save it so you can come back to it tomorrow. And if you know someone who sits all day, a coworker, a friend, a parent, share this with them. Sometimes a simple habit makes a bigger difference than people expect. If you'd like more science-based videos that turn complicated health topics into things you can actually use, subscribe. I post every week. And leave a comment telling me where you feel the most stiffness after a long day. Your neck, your shoulders, your back, or your hips. I read every one, and it shapes what I cover next. Thank you so much for spending these last few minutes with me. The fact that you stayed until the end tells me you care about your health. And that's exactly where lasting change begins. Your body has spent years adapting to sitting. Starting today, it can start adapting the other way. 5 minutes, 3 exercises, 1 small daily habit. Sometimes that's all it takes. Take care of yourself and keep moving.